So today we're going to show you how to make a binary number converter. This is kind of what the program's going to look like in the end. They're going to have a little label that says enter a binary number, and the user's going to enter in a binary number, and then they'll hit the calculate button, which will cause the event and display what that number is in decimal. We're going to do Windows programming with labels and buttons, but we're also going to do this object-oriented programming style to once again reinforce what you know about object-oriented programming. So I'm going to have a binary number class and then the actual calculator class or the driver program. I'm going to start off with the converter class, the binary number. So I'm going to say class binary number. Okay, in this we'll probably want a variable for the number in decimal or base 10, and we'll need a variable for the number in binary. Now, we could do the number in binary as an int, but then it leaves off the trailing zeros. I'm going to do it as a string, and that way I can make sure that if it's the number 0, it has some trailing zeros after it, or it just like, here's a binary number. That's a very small binary number, but if you were to store this as an int, that would be huge. So I'm just going to keep my binary number as a string. I'm going to start my decimal number as 0 and my binary number is 0 as well, but I'm doing 0 as a string, so it's in quotes. Okay, I have my default set already, so I'm going to leave out a default constructor, and I'm going to go right to my setters. So I want to be able to set the binary number. So I'm going to say public void set binary. If I can set it, that way I can calculate what it is in decimal. So this dot binary equals binary. Okay, as soon as we get whatever the binary number is, we also want to set the decimal number at the same time. That way you don't get two different values for this. So I'm just going to call a method that doesn't exist yet. I'm going to call it convert to decimal. There's my convert to decimal. Okay, that means I got to put it in. Public void convert to decimal. And all this is going to do is convert my binary number to decimal. Okay. Now, if you want to use the same code for the homework assignment, you can. You'll just have to add a set decimal value here, a setter, and you'll call your own method convert to binary. And on that, what that will do is that will convert a decimal number into binary. We're doing the opposite. We are converting a binary number into decimal. So let's review binary numbers. I'm going to put a little couple of comments in here just to kind of show you. There we go. Whenever you have a binary number, going back to your CS 1030 class, you have 2, 4, 8, 16. I better put some spaces in here because our number's getting big. Okay, so these are the place values for each of the ones and zeros. So if I wanted a binary number that was 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, pretend there's no spaces there, then we would just add up the 4, because there's a 1 in this position, and we'd add up the 16. And this number up here could keep going. It could go 16, what's 16 times 2? Well, 32, what's 32 times 2? Well, 64. And it can go up as high as you want it to go. And we're going to make it to go as high as they want, because we're just going to count backwards. So all I'm going to do is, since this number is a string, I'm going to have a variable to represent this value right here, and then I'll say if there's a 1 in this position, add this number. If not, don't do anything. So technically speaking, according to this logic, someone could put a 5 there and it would treat it as a 0, but that's okay for this program. All right, so here we go. We have our string. Our string is in binary. Our string is our binary number. I want to iterate through our binary number. But I also want this variable right here to be the power. So I'm going to say int power equals 1. All right. That way, if there's a 1 in this position, I'm going to add that. Okay. So I'm going to do a for loop. Okay, but I want to start at this side because that's where binary numbers start. So I'm going to say for int I equals binary dot length, and I have to do -1. That way it gives me the last position. And then I'm going to 0. So long as I is greater than or equal to 0, I minus minus. There is my loop. All it's doing is counting the positions of the string, but it's going backwards. Okay, so I need to see if the position in my binary string at position I is a 1. So if binary dot char at I equals 1. So since it's a 1, all I have to do is add this power variable to it. I better start my decimal number. My decimal number is the number I'm converting. So since I'm adding to it, I want to start it back at 0. So here, default values of the power and decimal number. And give you a little hint here. This counts backwards in the binary string from the end to position 0. Okay, so here I'm going to add to my decimal decimal plus equals power. Okay, now that's just going to keep adding 1 each time because power is 1. So this bracket right here ends the if. This bracket right here ends the for loop. Between those two, I want to multiply my power times 2. So I'm going to say pow times equals 2. There it is. So power times equals 2. So the next time it's going to be 2, and then the next time it'll be 4. It'll keep going until it gets to the end of the string. Okay, so that is it for my binary number converter. Before we do anything else, let's save this, make sure it works, and we're going to create a driver to test this program out. So I'm going to do save as binary number. We're going to do file new. This is my binary number driver, and save this one because we'll modify this to create the window. Class binary converter. So this is my driver class for the binary number file. Public static void main. Alright, so all I have to do to test this out is we're going to instantiate a binary number and then set the value and then print it out. So here we'll say binary number b equals new binary number with an extra p there. Great. B dot set binary, and we'll just say let's go 0001 0001, and then system.out.println. Let's do a toString method on our binary number class. That way we could easily print out just B and have that work. So I'm going to go File, Save As. That way I know this works. Ooh, binary number converter out. It's okay. We'll got it. Okay, so I said I was going to do a toString method. Here, to do a toString method, we're just going to say public string toString. And we'll show what the decimal number is. Actually, we'll just say, what's our decimal number called? Decimal. All right, so all it's going to do is say whatever the number is whatever the binary is in binary. So compile that, make sure that works. Oh dear, what am I missing? Private string. I forgot to actually name the binary string. Beautiful. You guys have been like yelling at me this whole time, and look what I've forgotten. Okay, so there is our binary. All right, compile this one last time, make sure that works, this file works, and all our converter is doing is printing out whatever this is in binary. Let's see if it works. Dun, 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 dun. 17 is, I don't know, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16 plus 1 is 17. There it is. Okay, hold on into the next, watch for the next video, and we will show you how to actually put this into a window and have it work with the Windows user controls.